Hey guys, it's Alex coming at you with another dating story. Yes, guys, story time. This is the most recent experience I've had in the dating world. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm 42 years old, single, never married, no kids, car enthusiast, love my Mustangs, and I've been single for a couple of years now, and I've come across a lot of situations that I think are kind of funny, and you guys, I think, benefit from my experiences. So those of you that are familiar with the channel, you know that I've met Miss Compatible, I've met Wake and Bake, I've met women that want kids right away. Now this one was a hybrid of like 2 or 3. Meet a girl on Match. I do a lot of online dating because honestly it's COVID, can't really go, I don't do the bar thing anyway. Bars are the ones that are, you know, the biggest issue when it comes to COVID down here. People are going to the bars and not really paying attention. They're just licking the rail, apparently, and everyone's getting sick. A girl that I know got COVID like weeks ago, and I'm like, hit me up 2 weeks after your quarantine is over, and then we'll talk. Meet a girl, very nice, seems to have everything I look for in a woman. Mid-30s, has a career, is very attractive, got the booty. You know, there's a couple of things that you might overlook, but when the booty's on point, you go, you know, this, she's actually very attractive. Everything is good. Everything is good. So when we were talking on the dating site, I always tiptoe around the kid subject. I used to go right for the jugular. I used to just go, do you want kids? Because if you do, I'm not your guy. And I'm like, well, that's pompous. You know, let me take another approach. So what was my other approach? My other approach was not talking about it. Not talking about it. Because I'm sure I'm putting off a vibe of, you know, anti-kid. And no woman is anti-kid. This woman did not have children, which was not a red flag. It was kind of like, okay, we didn't really talk about it. So we meet at the restaurant. You know which restaurant? Yard House. That's right. And there was like a wedding party. I'm like, a wedding party at Yard House? Really? There was. So we're sitting there, and there are kids crying. Wah, wah. The conversation's going good. Give me a good firm hug. She's very talkative, forthcoming with information. I'm like, this is nice. One red flag was she just got separated. Now, in her eyes, her relationship had been over for years, but she finally broke it off with dude, but they're still technically married. So I'm like, bing, red flag, red flag, red flag. You know, I think people should be single for at least a year and experience a lot in the dating pool before meeting someone that they can potentially see themselves with long term. So we're sitting there and this kid's crying, wah, wah. And she's like, ugh. And I'm like, ooh, she's turned off by kids. That actually is a positive for me because I don't want nothing to do with kids. No offense, if you got kids and they're like 12, 13, 14, perfect. If you don't have any kids and you don't want any kids, that's very rare, but that's even better for me because I just want to enjoy time with you. But she was like, ugh. And then, of course, the conversation comes up. Do you want kids? Because I see that you're disgusted by kids. She goes, I'm not disgusted by kids. I want one, but I don't want one. You know what I'm saying? I go, I do know what you were saying. She's like, yeah, I mean, it's like I'm a woman and you have those feelings and urges, but I don't want one. But I want one. I said, so in my mind, that means she don't want one. I'm very black and white. If you say, I want one, but I don't want one, that means it's like, I want a Lambo, but I don't want the upkeep and the price of a Lambo. That's how my stupid mind works. So, I thought it was great. She did say, before we met on the first date, she goes, just to let you know, I'm not kissing you on the first date. Second red flag. Bing. So I went, okay. I'm not going to say why. I'm just going to say, all right, but I'm not going to stop you if you want to kiss me on the first date because I'm such a stud. Whatever. So she laughed at that. She thought it was pretty funny. I'm like, all right, good. She likes my jokes. She, you know, is attracted to me and she doesn't want kids. And she's a good looking girl. I mean, this is great. Date ends, give a hug, send her on her way. Text me when you get home. Everything's fine. We start chatting a little bit more. Actually, no, we go out a second time. I believe. Yes, we go out a second time, and that's where the subject of kids really comes up. After the date, it went really well. We hung out. We didn't bang or anything. And texting afterwards, I just brought up the kid thing, and it flipped. Because during the date, I said, wait, she was talking about kids. I said, because there was kids in the next booth. And she goes, oh, look at that. And I go, yeah, I mean, like you said, you want one, but you don't want one. She goes, no, I definitely want one. I go, whoa, what happened? You went from saying you want one, but you don't want one, to you definitely want one. I said, okay, so what if I was to tell you I don't want kids? She goes, well, it wouldn't work. I went, I don't want kids. She goes, what? I go, what do you mean, what? Did you read my profile? Did you forget about our last date? And she goes, no, I thought that if we got along, but I didn't let it get into an argument. I said, okay, no problem. Then the next day, I started texting her because I don't like in-person fucking bickering. It's just stupid, waste of time. I said, hey, so if you really want a kid, I'm probably not for you. So before this gets out of hand, I'm probably not the guy for you if you definitely want kids as you said you wanted at the restaurant. And she goes, well, then we're not on the same page. I go, we're not on the same page. So she's like, now, in the meantime, I had gotten off of the site, or at least made my profile hidden so that nobody else hit me up and I concentrated on her. You know, the right thing, I thought anyway. So she was like, okay, I'm doing the same thing. Good. So once she said, okay, we're not on the same page. Okay, peace. I'm back on. I'm back on the horse. So doing that. Then about a day or two later, she hits me up and we start talking again. And, you know, we kind of said, yeah, let's just like not talk about the kid thing. And I'm going, that's kind of important, you know, but I let it lie. We hang out. We end up, you know, getting intimate. Everything is great. You know, a couple days in, she came over and cooked dinner at my place, guys. Cooked dinner at my place. And it was very good. And I was very impressed by the kind gesture. To me, if you're going to go out of your way and cook me a home-cooked meal at my place and then give me some loving, that's a damn good start. So a couple of weeks in, we're good. Remember, guys, I had then hopped back on the dating sites to become available again while our hiccup happened, and it never got off. We're still dating technically. Yeah, we were intimate, but that doesn't mean I'm locking it in. So she ended up going to her friend's place somewhere, and she was talking to her friend about me, showed her a picture of me, and she goes, wait a minute, I know that guy. He's on a dating site. And she goes, he is? Yeah, I am. So she proceeds to connive with her friend and say, hit him up and see if he replies. So I get a message. I go, oh, someone reached out to me, which is rare. Women don't really reach out first unless it's like Bumble. Bumble, they have to reach out first. They reach out first and you never hear from them again. And I was like, okay, you know, she wasn't that attractive. Nice girl, but wasn't that attractive. I was like, oh, no, I'm good, you know, yeah, whatever. And I just let it go. So about an hour or two passes, and the girl that I was seeing says, hey, why didn't you reply to my friend on the dating site? Almost like a gotcha. I said, because I didn't find her attractive. I was very honest with her, so I didn't find her attractive. She goes, I thought we made it clear that we're not going to be on the dating sites. I said, before we had the hiccup. We were like, okay, we had a hiccup. I got back on. She goes, I can't believe you went on that fast. I go, what? Is there a grace period that I don't know about that requires you to give someone a heads up or a time frame where you can go back and go about your life? No. The moment we say, hey, we're not good for each other, I'm right back on. So that pissed me off. It was almost like a trap was laid out. Here's a trap, fall into it. I didn't fall into it. They were mad that I didn't fall into it. She was mad that I was honest and said, yeah, I'm back on the dating sites because we had the hiccup. I just never bothered to get back off of it when we started talking again because of the hiccup. You know, if you have another hiccup, I'm still out there until we lock it in. Have we had the conversation about being, you know, exclusive? She goes, no. I go, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? She goes, no. I'm like, so what's the problem? I didn't like that little mini trap being laid out there, so it turned me off big time. Subsequently, during the back and forth, it got sarcastic, almost like, it takes two to fight. I said, I'm not going to engage in this. I'm not going to engage in this back and forth. I said, look, I did nothing wrong. We're still hanging out. Everything was fine. You attempted to have your friend hit me up on the backside to try to trap me into, like, you know, talking to other chicks while I was talking to you. If I was to do that to you, you'd call me out on it. And I think it's kind of fucked up that you did that. So I'm not really big on that situation. She, I think, one day later, a whole day. Why does it take women days to realize they fucked up? So she's like, shit, you know, damage is done. So she's like, I feel I owe you an apology. I feel I owe you an apology. No, I'm sorry. Say I'm sorry, whatever. But she did her thing. But I'm kind of like over it when it's that early on, and shenanigans and games start to be played. It is a turnoff, and it is the third red flag. First red flag was you wanted a kid, didn't want a kid. Second, then it was the whole divorce situation. She's still separated, still married to dude. And third, laying out a trap and being jealous 2 weeks into talking is really not my forte. This woman is well into her 30s, grown-ass woman, has her shit going on, but the games are still being played. And what does that mean to me? You are not ready to date. At least not ready to date me. So ladies, if you're out there trying to lay traps, if you're out there recently getting out of a divorce, if you're out there unsure, insecure about everything, do not date. Go banging. Go bang and do your thing. Do not date to be in a relationship, because guys like me are going to come across your life and you're going to ruin it by playing dumb games like that. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.